how to launch product on either Amazon or Walmart.
We are focused on our keyword research that is used during the product launch.
What backend attributes are most important to set up correctly at this stage?
Sometimes you will get ranked just by having the keyword in your listing.
Do you have any structure that you normally follow when you launch the product?
Yes, there are a few ways of changing that, but I wouldn't go to the trouble.
So is there any specific workflow that you follow to get the best main image?
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome back to another episode of Ecom Squeezed. I am your host Sebastian, and today we have an incredible guest joining us. She is an Amazon expert, a ranking strategist, and someone who has been helping sellers dominate the marketplace for years. And also she has partnered with Helium 10 to launch 1,000 plus products. She is the founder of A to Z AZ Rank, co-founder of and a regular speaker at top Ecommerce.
Thank you, Sebastian. Very happy to be here. Thanks for the invite. Looking forward to sharing some strategies with your audience.
Great. So you've been launching a lot of products, right? 1,000 plus products, and you have partnered with Helium 10. I think it's a CPR, right?
Yes, the CPR. So the CPR number in Helium 10, which it has been there since the beginning of Helium 10, but in 2021, since the Amazon algorithm changed, Helium 10 also decided that this number needs to be changed. What is the CPR number? I think we should explain a little bit. It's a number of units that needs to be sold in the initial phase of the launch. Now, it used to be giveaways or the search find buys that have been very popular in the past. They still exist in a different way right now. We still help with that. But you can also use that number for your PPC first orders during the launch. Those numbers help you quantify a little bit the velocity that your product needs in the initial phase of the launch in order to get ranked on each keyword. So yes, we have been working, this number has been accomplished based on more than 1,000 launches. We took the data, analyzed it, and Helium 10 team transformed it into what it is right now. Overall, at AZ Rank, we have been on the market since late 2017, so it's been a while, and we are currently at more than 6,000 product launches on Amazon, Walmart, and other marketplaces as well. So yeah, we've seen a lot in the space, and I am an Amazon seller as well since 2017. So. On top of everything.
6,000 plus launches. So in today's episode, we're just going to discuss how to launch product on either Amazon or Walmart. That will be the topic for today.
Just in the limited time that we have, because this can go on forever.
True, very true. So I want to start with initial product research and marketing, right? So what are the data points that you normally look into before deciding to launch a product?
Well, we at AZ Rank, we don't do product research for our clients, and we don't do product validation. So our role comes in when the product is already settled, let's say, so it's prepared for launch. That's when we come into place. Basically, we start with the keyword research, but our keyword research, it's a lot different than the keyword research that the seller does for listing creation and for PPC. We are focused on our keyword research that is used during the product launch. And how do we do that? In just a few words, I recommend Amazon Product Opportunity Explorer, which is a tool from Amazon, and you can easily identify the top 25 keywords from each niche that Amazon sees as relevant for that particular niche. So if you launch a product in that niche, you need to have those keywords in your target focus. Even if you use us for the launch, or even if you just do PPC or whatever you do, just focus on those keywords. And of course, there's Helium 10, Cerebro. You can analyze your competitors and see where they're doing well we don't have to reinvent the wheel whenever we launch a product, right? It was a saying, good artists copy and great artists steal. That's what we have to do in terms of keyword research. Exactly what the other are doing well on, that's what we should also do. If you start with these few let's say options in terms of how to establish your keywords, you have a very good starting point.
That's great. And on the follow-up question, what backend attributes are most important to set up correctly at this stage?
Backend attributes, well, all of them are important. From our area of expertise, we've seen a lot of products having troubles ranking on keywords because of say, missing or unidentifiable. Usually the product category is the most important category, subcategory, browsing notes, leaf notes. Those would be the most important ones, but very careful. Fill them all. That's my takeaway for this question. Try to fill them all with the relevant information where it's applicable, but as we all know, the flat file or even the backend has some fields that may not be relevant. In that particular situation, just put an NA into that field in the flat file or in the Amazon backend, because it will help you protect your listing from hijackers and from other things. What you can also do with the backend is try to push the system a little bit and try to put keywords into the fields that you don't have a specific attribute to fill in, and see if that works. Sometimes we've seen very good results with this strategy just for an overall keyword ranking. You can do, each product has like thousands of long tails, right? You can use all those and put it there. Sometimes you will get ranked just by having the keyword in your.
And you mentioned about danger of leaving the attributes empty. So what are the danger?
Hijackers, usually the people that come jump on your listings. There has been less and less activity from some bad actors in the game, but it's still there. So they find some loops in the whole algorithm, and if you don't have all these fields fill in, it's easier for them to hijack your listing. It's very specific, category to category to category. I don't have like a list of fields, but just do them all.
Yeah, of course.
Just an NA. It's as simple as that. Just put an NA, because it's all coming to contributions, right? If you are the owner of the listing and the main contributor, then you can prove to Amazon that somebody tried to change.
I've heard horror stories of leaving it empty and someone comes and puts some banned keywords and stuff like that.
Exactly, and then your listing goes down. And I have a friend that this happened, and lost the listing for more than 6 months.
Wow.
Until they reestablished it. It was their best seller, so it happens.
Yeah, and what's the best strategy for choosing a canonical URL that includes the right keyword? Do you have any structure that you normally follow when you launch the product?
Well, no, because depending what you do with it, Amazon is against URLs containing keywords, so I wouldn't advise towards using them. Canonical URL you're saying the canonical URL with the 5 words. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I thought you were. I misunderstood. So the canonical URL most of the time is generated by Amazon, and yes, there are a few ways of changing that, but I wouldn't go to the trouble. Usually, if your title is what it's supposed to be, then the canonical URL it's also as it's supposed to be. From experience, I would say the most important words that form your main keyword. So for example, it's garlic. Let's say garlic press is our product, right?
Garlic press is everywhere.
Exactly. So garlic press needs to be in the canonical URL, right? It's garlic and press. And then what other keywords do we have there? We have stainless steel. Our product is stainless steel. Maybe stainless steel, or maybe just stainless, or words, not exact or phrase form keywords, but just words that put together form the main keywords.
Yeah, and regarding the keyword research you mentioned about, right? So do you sort the keywords like, say, the primary keyword, which are closely related to the products, and maybe secondary, maybe a spelling mistake, maybe some keywords with demographic, and if you sort it in what are the different sorting categories that you have?
Categories. Well, first of all, our most favorite keywords to rank on, to launch on, let's say, are the long tail keywords. Extremely relevant long tails, and as long as possible. So the longer the better. Why is that? Because we've seen that whenever you focus with your giveaways or your PPC or your traffic to a long tail keywords that contains inside your main keyword, like our example before, stainless steel garlic press red would be a long tail, right? Garlic press is my main keyword, which is also very relevant for me, but is a lot bigger, and it will be more expensive for me to rank on, more difficult, you know the drill. So if I focus my launch on stainless steel garlic press red, and then some other things related, all of them containing garlic press, I will get ranked on garlic press up to a very satisfying and usually page 2 or end of page 1 position. That will be very it would be a lot easier having that starting point when I focus on ranking my main keyword. Now, these are the best ones, so I would focus on these. We are also looking at title density from Helium 10. The smaller, the better. We are also looking at keyword conversion rate, which is like a broad metric but helpful. And when I say conversion rate, I'm talking about keyword sales versus search volume. And we are also looking sometimes at Amazon recommended rank, also from Helium 10, that gives us an idea about, not an idea, it's actually accurate information from Amazon, how important Amazon considers that keyword for your listing. And if you don't have the Amazon recommended filled in, that means you shouldn't focus on that keyword because it's not relevant, especially at that moment in time. So these would be the most important metrics. And in terms of categories, well, it's different. Every product is different, niche is different. Sometimes Spanish keywords and misspellings are way more important than the keyword themselves, because it's such a crazy spelled product that nobody knows how to correctly write the keyword. It depends a lot. But if you start this way, we've seen the best of success structuring this way.
I want to move into the image, the main image. It's very important, right? The main image. So is there any specific workflow that you follow to get the best main image?
Well, that's something that each seller does. We don't do that creative part.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have too many inputs on that. Of course, you need to get like the idea of, again, from your main competitors and see how you can make it better. Not too much white space, not too much rendering. People have gone crazy with the renders. And what I would mention, though, is that there are a lot of categories where it seems to me like even more and more than they used to be, where lifestyle images are allowed as a main image. And frankly, my personal opinion is that this will happen more and more in the following years. And we might see a main image, a lifestyle main image in a lot of categories on Amazon, or even could be like a permitted option, because it's more relevant for the product to actually see it in use, or somebody holding it, the real product, rather than a render that has nothing to do with the reality sometimes.
And you have launched around 6,000 plus products, right, till now. So that's a lot of launches. So what's maybe one or two things that you definitely say to the seller or advise seller that not to do this stuff? Is there a list of one or two things?
Currently, we're talking right now. It doesn't matter what it used to be years ago. But in 2025, what I mentioned before about structuring the keywords and starting the launch on the long tail keywords is very important and is the most common mistake that a lot of sellers are still doing. And the mistake is focusing on the main keyword, on the garlic press. And that is wrong for two reasons. First of them, you don't tell Amazon who you really are. I mean, garlic press, there are thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of garlic presses on Amazon. What's your special? Why is it your special? That's where the long tails come in. That's how you tell Amazon who you are, and that's how you establish the most relevant keywords for your product. If you're focusing only on the main keyword, you're missing this, which is not important, is life or death right now in Amazon, because relevance is the new name of the game. We have Rufus, we have all kind of tools that Amazon has brought to the customers right now. And if you look in the back end of all those, there's just one word: relevance. You need, Amazon wants to recommend to the customer the most relevant products, because they want them to buy, to buy easier, to buy more, to buy faster, and so on. Coming back, focusing on main keywords rather than long tails. And that is wrong. One, because of relevance. Two, because it's very expensive to start your launch with the main keywords. Number two mistake, I think, is focusing on one or two. I mean, let's put it this way, focusing on too few keywords. So our most successful launches are somewhere between 7, 10, 15 or more keywords all at the same time, randomizing traffic between them and having actions on all of them. If you just choose one or two keywords, Amazon doesn't like that. And this has been going on for a while. That's why we see a lot of very established sellers selling for since 2012. But they never launched a product in the last 5 years, and now when they come to launch using the same strategies that used to be successful back then, it's not working.
Great.
Shortest way to say it.
Yeah, and you mentioned at the starting about Amazon brand registry, right? So how can sellers utilize brand registry, for example, to get the keywords or to plan ahead or to create a PPC? So how can sellers use a brand registry?
Brand registry...
Let me rephrase it. It's my mistake. So it's Amazon Brand Analytics.
Brand Analytics, yes. I realized you were talking about Brand Analytics. So Brand Analytics has a lot of information right now. Not all of it is to be checked every day or to be trusted entirely, because they are releasing a lot of stuff. But there is the search query performance, which gives you now quite a lot of information about your existing listing and how the listing performs and how your market share is and click share and conversion share and all that. That would be important. And also the Opportunity Explorer, I must admit, I don't remember if it's within Brand Analytics or if it's somewhere else. I think, no, Opportunity Explorer is in the growth section. So
yeah, it's in
I think that's available without the brand registry. Yeah, I really don't think anybody can be successful right now if it's not brand registered. First of all, for trademark and brand protection, and second of all, because of all the data that they're missing.
And you mentioned about the search query performance report, right? Means I have created a custom ChatGPT, so you can download the report and just throw it, and it will come up with the suggestions saying this keyword is you're not converting, or compared to competition. So it will compare all those details. So it's very powerful details that Amazon provides us.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you about the keyword ranking. I think Helium 10 have a heat map. So do you use that area on Helium 10? And is there any specific reason that you use it, and any other things that you can suggest?
So the keyword tracker tool from Helium 10, yes, it's one of the best there is out there. I would just remember sellers that that rank that Helium 10 presents in the keyword tracker or the heat map, it's the same thing. It's an average. They're searching several browsing nodes, several zip codes, several times of the day, so they give you an average of your keyword rank. Because sometimes you will see, position 7 and you find yourself on position 15. Well, at one point in a specific location, blah, 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 you were position 7, right? So from my point of view, the keyword ranking has not been, is not, and will never be an exact, identical metric that you can trust. If you search it manually, you'll get one result. If you're using 5 tool, you're usually gonna get 5 results, even if they're all in the same area. The trend is more important than the actual position. I mean, if it's number 7 or number 9 or 17 versus 19, it's not going to make a huge difference. Yes, if it's number 1 compared to number 5, it's probably going to make a big difference, but that's a different story. I mean, the top 5 ranking positions is...
And on the keyword distribution, you mentioned about the keyword research that you will be doing, but you want to distribute the keywords, right, from the title, from bullet points, A+ content and backend keywords. So how do you distribute the keywords? Is there any priority list that you will say, okay, I will put priority number 1 on here, 2 here, or is there any specific workflow that you follow?
Not specifically. Again, everything is different. This I can share based on my expertise as a seller, because again, at the agency, we don't do that. We can recommend, of course, we give advice, but we don't do it. Title has been, it still is the most important one. Bullet points following, and then description, and then A+ backend, pretty much the order you said. What's most important is that you fill all the fields that are given to you by Amazon with keywords. Don't leave those empty, because it's a leverage that you can have against your competitors.
This is a short one. Do you prefer short title or longer title?
Short.
Short. Why?
It's easier. It's more visible. I don't know. I found it to be more impactful on the buyer. I mean, it depends. If we're looking on the keyword side, that I prefer longer, because you can stick more keywords into those. But again, depends a lot on the product. If I'm buying something that is very simple, I don't know, toilet paper, just an example from the pandemic, right? I just need to see toilet paper, how many layers and how many rolls. That's all. Maybe the flavor if there's one. Nothing else. If I'm buying a very fancy phone or laptop or something, then yes, I need more information on the title, which will make me decide to move forward of clicking on that listing to finding out more. So it's hard. I think it's a personal
I agree.
opinion. In terms of keywords, if we're talking keywords, longer ones are best.
I think during launch stage, it would be better to have the longer title.
Yeah. You can edit it afterwards. It's actually something that we recommend, to edit the keywords and not the titles from time to time. I don't know, make some minor changes on your listing just to, refresh it. Don't just leave it there for years.
And the next question is, when you launch the product, do you normally drive traffic from outside of Amazon, from, for example, Google or Facebook or any other social media channel or somewhere else?
Yes, whatever it's necessary, and however this is something that most of the sellers are not going to, not using it like from the first days of the launch, but slowly afterwards, yes. Google ads, press articles if possible, any type of mention, even influencers, posts, anything else that can come from outside Amazon. It's very different, again, from product to product, from budget to budget. You can go with a million scenarios.
You have Press X, right? How does it, can we drive traffic from Press X? Means how does it look like? Is that real, like a newspaper, or is that online? If you can.
So Press X is a service that, we make the connection between the seller and the publisher. These are real publishers and are one of the top tier publishers in the space, especially in the US. So very, very big names. Forbes, Cosmopolitan, New York Times, all those magazines that also have the online section, right? Because all these are online articles. We negotiate, let's say, with the publishers in the name of the brand to have an article about a specific product or a specific brand in their publication. Inside the article, there is the product link, which usually can be attribution, but can be canonical. I don't know, can be off Amazon, can be Shopify, depending on what you want to promote. So there is a link, and basically we track the clicks. So it's a cost per click. The clicks that are, so the people that actually click and open the product, that actually get on your Amazon page. That's what the brand pays for. And what's most interesting, I think, about PressX is that you pay only for performance. So if you come to us and we agree on an article, there is a payment. Yes, I'm not going to go into detail. So there is a fee, but all that fee is allocated for clicks. So you will pay me that fee, but if you don't get any clicks on the article, which rarely happens, or if you get less than the predicted budget, you get the money back and you still get the article the article can be repurposed. You can drive your own Google traffic to it. You can use it however you want. You can put on your listing as seen on, or, mentioned on, or things like that. Yeah, it's a very good source, but it depends a lot on the product, because these public publishers being so fancy and big, they have a lot of, yeah.
Do you cover UK or Europe, and which countries do you cover?
Now. US and UK for now. US and UK. Some other marketplaces in the works.
Great. My last question will be, during launches, how do you strategize the PPC side? Is there any specific, do you go really aggressive, or do you have any special methods that you use during launch?
I was really hoping there will not be a question about PPC. I'm just kidding. I don't like PPC. I never did. So I don't even do it for my own. I have somebody else doing for my own brands. What I can tell you is that, so I don't have a very specific strategy like with details, but I can say this. All the keywords in focus for the launch need to be targeted in PPC. Yes, a little bit more aggressive maybe than usual, but I wouldn't go too aggressive because afterwards it will be hard to downgrade that spend and the CPCs and everything. So other than that, all the other things that everybody else knows for PPC, which I don't, so I'm not the person to talk about.
The one that you mentioned is golden, you just focus on the few
I would
main
start with that,
high related.
And just, scale.
Yeah, that's itself is gold, the one that you mentioned. For the viewers, how can they find you, where they can find you, and all those details? And do you have any a free consultation or any offers that you can provide to the viewers?
So if you put my name, which is on the screen, Alina Vlaic, on any social media. I'm most active on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, of course. AZRank is the name of our company, and the website is azrank.com. There's a contact form out there. We also have a newsletter, which is called The Ranking Pill, and we come with all tips and tricks and strategies, so you can subscribe to it from the website. We usually get back really fast to everyone, even if they want to just reach out or say hi or need something. Consultations we don't do, but I can take a look for anybody coming from your podcast or anybody having any type of questions. Very much open to help if possible. And I can promise that if they're in need of ranking, if they're doing a launch or a relaunch or just a ranking campaign, I will give them the friends and family, the VIP price.
Wow. That's great to know. I'll put all the link down in the show notes. And regarding the newsletter, it's fantastic. I mean, I've read some of them, and it's great, especially the number 3 on your website. Mm-hmm. It's like SOP standard. You can just work. You can just follow with the screenshots and everything. And that's fantastic. I highly recommend. So I will put the link in the show notes as well. Thanks a lot, Alina, for all those advice.
It was great being here. Talk to you soon.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.